Before I get started, I just want to send my condolences and my heart goes out to Javon Belcher's family as well as Cassandra Perkins, his girlfriend. Second quarter here, Jets versus Cardinals, week 13. I'm using NFL 2K5. Unfortunately, I don't have my updated roster file, but that's okay because we're seeing this matchup with the 2004 matchup. Players, look at this play right here. I kind of took a risk passing it to Justin McCarron's on the left side since I couldn't see him when I passed the ball, but I had a feeling he'll have a couple yards on the defender, and he did, and of course I ran after the play. Now, my thing with 2K, you have to tap the speed burst button to run faster as opposed to holding it, and it kind of gets confusing because sometimes you're tapping as hard as you can and the player seems to be slowing down while everybody else is running fast. Yet when you're facing the computer, they seem to always be faster than you no matter what. When I started playing this game again recently, I was a little rusty and it was pretty difficult to win some games, get some positive plays, but since then I've really been doing a good job of getting it together, focusing and putting the ball where it's supposed to be, great play calling. There's just a couple times on defense that I allow big plays, and that has to do with the difficulty that I have it on. There's no way I'll take pride in playing in some easy difficulty because it just isn't challenging, it isn't rewarding, and there's no reason to have fun or be proud unless of course the harder difficulties are too hard for you. Now in this particular game, I kind of wanted to focus on my play calling. Sometimes when I'm doing some of my game videos, I'm just having fun. I want to sling it out there like Brett Favre and take chances, make mistakes, blah blah, but I really wanted to focus. In this preview, so far I'm up 14-0 as you see. Let's go. Now, as I said, when I started playing this game again recently, it was kind of difficult getting back into the swing of things. I used to be really nice back in the day. I had the original 2K series on the Sega Dreamcast before I purchased my PS2, so it was a big upgrade for me going from Madden 2002 on the PlayStation, which I have videos of on my channel, to NFL 2K2 on the Sega Dreamcast, and then I was just hooked, excuse me. Now, today's matchup, I expect the Jets to win only because I feel we are the better team. I feel the Cardinals started off great this year, but obviously they've had some problems at quarterback. So I expect the more veteran defense to win the Cardinals offense. But the problem there is that the Cardinals defense is also a top ranked defense. I believe they're ranked 6th in the league. So our bad offense now has to deal with them. Now this game still holds up pretty good after all these years, especially since it has a progressive scan feature to really make the graphics as crisp as possible on a modern television. I have a 50-inch, so the image is spread out and it still holds up. I can imagine it would only look better on a smaller screen. I allowed that touchdown so horribly. Larry Fitzgerald, big fan, obviously. I don't think you could be an NFL fan and not be a big fan of Larry Fitzgerald. Now, to talk about a couple other things going on in the league, it has been a unbelievable season. Of course, the Jets aren't as successful as I would hope they be. I just hope the coaching staff stays together as I have faith in them. And maybe with a possible high draft pick next year, depending how they finish, we might be able to pick up some offensive weapons. I think we could really benefit from having the tallest, most ambitious wide receiver available in the draft. I would have to wait to see who that would be. I used to follow college football much more when I was younger, just because I had more time. I remember being excited for Drew Brees before he joined the NFL. I remember being excited for Drew Brees was actually on the cover of NCAA 2K2 for the Dreamcast. Ran into my own blocker there. Well, yeah, I believe he played for Purdue. I'm not sure. And then, of course, he joined the Chargers, and I thought it was ridiculous when they got rid of him. But Phillip Rivers is obviously capable of putting up the same kind of numbers. He's just not as capable of winning on a consistent basis. The Chargers have had success in previous years, here and there, but it kind of becomes more difficult down the stretch. Now, as I was saying, I don't follow college football as much as I used to back in the day. I remember being excited for multiple players. I remember getting the opportunity to see Larry Johnson when he was in Penn State. He was playing against Northwestern. I was able to go to the game because of Luis Castillo, former Charger, ironically, since I just mentioned Drew Brees. Real close to the family, my father's side at least, so he was able to get tickets for all of us to go out there, as well as any Chargers game that he had in New York. Unfortunately, now he's a free agent, but I believe if he continues a speedy recovery with his leg, they'll have interest in re-signing them. Some teams just get rid of some people to clear some roster space while they're recovering from an injury and are welcome to bring them back. He did a lot for the community in San Diego, especially with Hispanics. He was actually on the cover of Madden NFL 2008, the Spanish edition. Now, with that, I do think Madden should have some kind of Spanish edition every year, but instead of it being a separate title, it'll be something that they ask you when you first launch the game, when you first create your save file, if you want it in Spanish or English, or it'll be available in the menu. I think that would be cool, because some of these Hispanic kids in some of these countries, they go crazy for video games. Most of them do. And depending on where we're talking about, some of them get stuff after, later, so they really appreciate things that we're probably used to. For example, I remember the last time I went to Dominican Republic back in 2002, I took my Dreamcast with me. PlayStation 2 obviously was already out, but you would have to purchase it for like 10,000 Dominican dollars, and even the PlayStation was like 600 Dominican dollars or something. I forgot the exact number, obviously. Nice sack. If you go back, I repositioned myself from the outside to the inside and got the sack right away with Mickens. Now, although it sounds expensive, the exchange rate, the currency rate is always going up and down. The last time I checked, it was like 1 Dominican peso equals 38 American dollars. So you can go over there with a couple American dollars and you have a good amount of Dominican dollars. But it kind of trades off For example, a bag of potato chips cost like 7 pesos or something like that. I haven't been to DR in years, so can't give you accurate numbers. Anyways, I'm getting very off topic in this video. Point is that a Spanish version of Madden would be cool for some of these countries. They really appreciate all types of gaming. Now, this year, as I was saying before I got really off topic, has been pretty incredible. Even though the Jets aren't doing good, I'm a fan of a million other teams around the league. I'm a fan of the Cowboys, the Eagles. I'm a fan of a lot of teams. Unfortunately, the Cowboys and Eagles aren't doing too great, especially the Eagles. And the Cowboys have like the most inconsistent play ever. But I guess you could say that about most teams that are doing bad right now. It would be incredible if some of these teams that people have ruled out actually make the playoffs. Anything is possible. There are 4 weeks left, 5 weeks left of play. Week 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And these next few weeks are going to be pretty crazy. Now, as I was saying, I'm a fan of many other teams. I'm a big fan of the Houston Texans. Just because when I started watching football back in 2001, everybody knew the Texans were going to become part of the league the following season. So it was pretty exciting waiting to see my first big mistake of the game, kind of trying to force something before the half, and now they have great field goal position. But I don't regret anything I do, because at the end of the day, well, I do regret some things, but at the end of the day, I know there's enough time for me to win the game. And right now I'm winning at the moment. So now, back in 2001, it was exciting waiting to see how the Texans would do their first season, what their final uniform would be. I remember Madden 2002 had like a placeholder uniform. Madden 2002 released in 2001, so they kind of had some kind of concept of what the uniform would look like, or maybe they made it up there themselves. I'm not 100% sure, but it had like a white helmet, the Texans logo. So finally seeing the final team and seeing in the video games and seeing highlights and seeing them do a couple good plays and stuff was very exciting. I instantly became a fan. I'm a big fan of underdog stories. I know most people are, but you'd be surprised how much people out there like the powerhouse dictator type team that just dominates the league, even though I like those teams too, but I love the underdogs. So it's been a pleasure seeing the Texans actually dominate and right now lead the AFC with what, they're 10-1 right now. That's insane. I'm very happy for them. I was happy last year during the playoffs. If the Jets don't make the playoffs, and I know, everybody's gonna say they're not gonna make them, but if the Jets don't make the playoffs, then I would be really happy to see somebody like Andrew Luck or Matt Schwab leave their team to the Super Bowl. It was very unfortunate what happened last year with the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say I wanted to see them make it to the Super Bowl and not the Patriots, and especially not the Giants. And unfortunately, it didn't go down that way. But it is what it is. That's what makes it the NFL. That's what makes playoffs unpredictable. That's what makes the league unpredictable. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised come January when they see who's in the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, because every single year it's pretty unpredictable. Now, I hope whoever wins it is a team that really has been fighting for it. Obviously, if they win it, they've been fighting for it because they're in that position. But I guess what I mean is it's kind of hard knowing what the Ravens have had to deal with these last couple of years. They've made it to a couple AFC championship games and they've come up short. And of course, even though people like Ray Lewis already have a ring from the year 2000, it'll be great to see them get another one. I guess we'll find out soon. Fill out them games. Peace. Watch the third quarter if you've been enjoying the commentary. Enjoy NFL Sunday.